Hi Internet, welcome to Manifestation Bathtub, our weekly show that we bring to you live from our very own bathtub in San Diego, California every Monday around 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. In the show we talk about the law of attraction, we talk about how to create the life you want, and we talk about what might be getting in your way on your way there. So what filter are we going to use today? All right. No, this one. This one. Moon filter. All right, so what bath bomb are we using today? We are using an Una bath bomb today from our friend Una. She was a guest on our show a few weeks ago. And she sent us a lovely, beautiful gift box of bath bombs. She's so sweet. And we've got a lot to choose from. So today we're going to pick Yoga Sunrise. Here we go. And thank you, Una, for the amazing bath bombs. If any of you out there want to send us a bath bomb or any type of bath product or wig to wear on the show, our address is 3272 Orange Avenue, San Diego, California, 92104. And this hat I'm wearing right now, this amazing hat, this hat is from our friend Fazia. And it is by an artist named Android Jones, and you can find it on a website called Grassroots California. So in case you're thinking, dang, that is a cool hat, I want that hat, that's where it comes from. Guys, check him out. He is an amazing artist. So without further ado, let's get this bath bomb in the bath. Woo! It's fizzing up, that Yoga Sunrise. Great. And let's start the show. So in today's show, we're talking about how the stories you tell yourself hold you back from getting what you want. Right now, we are hosting a challenge, an online challenge with about 115 people on it.
It's crazy.
It's amazing. I can't believe we got this many people on our challenge. Oh, I can't believe it, but it's pretty crazy. And so, we're going over some different coaching ideas with everybody, and we're talking to people about vision and what it is do they really want, what's kept them from getting it all these years, and all the different things that might come up. It's just like a 3-day challenge, so you can't cover everything, but we're covering a lot.
No, you can't cover everything.
No, but we're teaching some of our favorite concepts and tools to people during this 3-day challenge. And we set a challenge for people, a very crazy challenge where we broke these 115 people up into groups of 8, because we're reading The Power of 8 right now, and we're reading about how small groups of 8 coming together, or around 8, doesn't have to be exactly 8, setting intentions for one another, kind of like a prayer circle or an intention circle, can lead to some pretty miraculous things happening. And so the assignment that we set for these people, these groups of strangers, complete strangers.
Well, some of them we know, but most of them strangers.
Well, they're strangers to each other.
Oh, yeah.
On the internet, all over the world, was to somehow get in contact with all 8 people in their group, get a group message going, and create this t-shirt inception. So where it's a photo of one of the people, then they send their photo to the next person. The next person holds up the photo of the first person and takes a picture, then sends it to the next person. So it's a picture within a picture within a picture within a picture. And whichever team finishes first with all 8 of them, within a picture, 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 whichever team finishes first wins this. We're going to print it on a t-shirt.
And send it to them.
And send it to them. And so it's funny because, it's kind of, it's kind of a silly challenge. What's the big deal about this challenge? You would be amazed at the amount of resistance and stories that have been coming up around this idea, around this challenge. We've had people saying, I need to go to a different group. We've had people saying, but I don't have a printer, I can't do this. We've had people saying, but my person's asleep. We've had people saying, I'm going to just leave my picture here and let you guys take care of the rest. We've had people saying, but this person isn't on Facebook. And so we told people, we said, look, there are very few rules here. It's not about the how.
It's that everyone gets involved.
Yeah, and we want you to get creative. We want you to get resourceful. We want you to get over any stories that you're telling yourself that are keeping you from getting this done. And
one person straight up dropped out of the challenge.
Just dropped out of the challenge. Said, I do not want my photo anywhere.
I do not want my photo anywhere. I do not want myself out there. Just done.
Yeah, and so it was like, wow, this is one of
This is great.
the least deep things we're doing. Like, this is not emotionally triggering in any way. This is not. It's
so
like
cool.
fun, you know. But this is bringing up people's shit more than all the other stuff we're exploring, which is some pretty deep stuff. Okay,
and it's because we are asking people immediately to get over a lot of their fears so that they can really have what they want. And it's the fears of reaching out, the fears of bugging someone else, the fears of being seen, the fears of having to connect with others, and you know, the fears of making a mistake in front of others or doing something maybe not right. And it's really cool that we get to trigger people.
So I want to just give a shout out. There's some people watching right now that are in the challenge. So we love you guys.
Hi, guys.
We're so freaking proud of all the work that you're doing so far. And we want to thank you for being in the challenge and giving all your effort into the t-shirt thing. Even though we know that some of you are coming up against your shit. We love you and we embrace you in all of that. And also just give a shout out to, I see my friend Dana's watching. And a funny story about how I met Dana is I decided one day that I was just going to say, fuck it, and go to Italy and work on organic farms in Italy for as long as my money would last after I sold my eggs. Yes, the eggs that are in my ovaries. And so when I went to Italy, I didn't know anybody. I just showed up with a backpack. I was like, I'm going to stay here for 4, 5, 6 months. I don't know what's going to happen. And guess who was the first person to meet me there? Was Dana. She was my couch surfing host. Hey Dana, so good to see you. And this is 8 years ago now, guys. 8 years ago. And I think, Dana, you were like 23. You were pretty young. And you were just like, hey, welcome to Italy. Here, you can sleep in my bed, and I will take you all around Rome on the back of my scooter. And I'm like, how did this girl create this amazing life for herself? At 23, you just moved to Italy, and then you figured it out. You didn't have a plan, from what I remember. You just moved there. You found a way to make it work. And you did, and you had an amazing adventure. And I think you lived in London after that. I think you've lived all over the world. You're in LA now. You're like, Dana's a great example of just going for something you really want, saying, I don't care whether I'm following the rules 100% or not. I'm just going to show up, and it's going to work out. And guys, guess what? Most of the time it does. You can. You can't just pick up and move to Italy and figure it out.
Here. She's alive.
Exactly. Dana's here. She's doing great. You know, I moved to Italy too, and I did fine too. And then it's like you can literally just create the life that you want and make it happen. And yeah, there's gonna be some speed bumps along the way, but you figure it out.
And so we really want to get on this manifestation bathtub and talk about this topic because. In my experience, when we say you can create the life that you want, it triggers a lot of people, and a lot of people have been like, but this, but this, but this, but this, but this. And so we wanted to talk about the but this, but I have a chronic illness, but
I have kids.
I have kids.
But I don't have the money.
But I have trauma in my past. But it's never worked for me before.
But I don't speak Italian.
But, what else is the but? But you're more privileged than I am. But I wasn't born, but I don't have a savings. But what are the buts? What are your buts? What are your buts that are getting in the way?
What are your butt stories?
And you know, that this manifestation bathtub is really about speaking with you and letting you know that like your butt stories are the main reason you're not taking action and you're not creating it.
And I want to share a story that's super, super inspiring. That's not my own. It's not Dana's. It's one that Kit and I have really been freaking out about lately. We've been telling everyone who will listen. We read, guys, all right. So San Diego is great. It never rains. There are little neighborhood libraries everywhere. You can't walk a block without seeing someone have a little library in their front yard where you can leave a book, take a book. It's so cool. And so on my run, I go on a run or walk every morning for miles where I go past as many of these libraries as possible, and I check all of them every single day with the dogs. It takes me an hour, and there's about 5 libraries on the way. And there's this one library that always has the good shit. And they had Cesar Millan's autobiography. And I think, whatever, I'm not that into Cesar Millan, but
we were
he's so cute. And our dogs are having some issues. So, okay, I'm gonna pick this up. I bring it back. You guys, you have to read this book.
Oh, it's so cool.
It's called Caesar's Way.
If you think your butt story is valid,
your butt story is valid,
you gotta hear his.
Listen to this shit. Okay.
So I just want to say before we talk about butt stories more, is that we're not saying your butt stories aren't painful. We're not saying that they haven't impacted you deeply.
Yeah.
We're not saying that we don't feel you, because damn, that shit hurts.
Mm-hmm.
And we are saying you can overcome it.
Yep.
You can overcome anything.
So
talk about Cesar Millan and what he overcame.
So Cesar grew up in Mexico, mostly on a farm with his grandparents. I mean, he had his parents as well, but they spent a lot of time on the farm with his grandparents. And his grandfather always had a way with dogs. And he kind of grew up just having this intuition with dogs. And at a pretty young age, he decided, I'm going to be a dog trainer to the stars. He got some education, but not a lot. He started working pretty young. I think he was maybe doing some vet tech type work when he was younger in Mexico. And he was 21 years old. It was 2 days before Christmas. And he had this dream of going to Hollywood and being a dog trainer to the stars. And he was living on the west coast of Mexico. So pretty close to where we are now.
Originally, I think he wanted to train dogs in movies. That's what it was. It started
right,
there.
because he was obsessed with Lassie.
Yes, that was
all right,
it.
And so it's 2 days before Christmas. He doesn't know any English.
None.
At all. And it's 2 days before Christmas. And he's 21 years old. And he decides, I can't take it anymore. I'm going to America. Bye, Mom. Kisses his mom on the cheek. And he gets a coyote. That's a person who takes someone across the border illegally.
He's got $100.
It's just, he got the equivalent of $100 in his pocket, and it's him and this other guy, and that's it. And they wait in a drainage ditch with water up to their necks all night until 3 a.m., freezing.
Freezing cold drainage ditch.
Until it was the right moment to cross. And so then he had to run through a tunnel, come out on the other side covered in mud, soaking wet. He spent his last $100 on this coyote to get him across the border. I think he had just enough money in his pocket to get a cab ride into downtown San Diego, which is like, you guys, if you don't know, San Diego's right on the border of Tijuana. It's like, we can walk to Mexico if we want to. It's pretty close. So he gets into San Diego, and he's homeless. He doesn't speak any English, right? And he has no idea what he's doing. He doesn't know anyone.
He learns the words for job application.
And he walks into this dog grooming parlor, and he asks them if he could have a job. So he calls these ladies his angels. There were 2 ladies, and not only did they hire him, but they let him sleep in the back of the shop, and they taught him English. And every single day, hi Nancy, every single day for a year, he would eat a 7-Eleven hot dog for breakfast and lunch so that he could save up enough money to move to LA. And within a year he did. He moved to LA, and he started learning more and more English. He started getting better jobs. And eventually he started his own dog training business, and his first celebrity client was Jada Pinkett Smith.
Right.
And ever since then, you guys know who he is now, right? Everybody knows who Cesar Millan is.
He's so
He's
cute.
a gajillionaire. He's adorable.
And Jada Pinkett Smith loved him so much that she got him lessons to speak better English. Like, he got the celebrity client without speaking very good English.
Yeah.
Just because he put
He would not give up on his dream.
Behind his gift.
Now look, all along the way, Cesar could have used any of those butt stories to keep him from getting where he was. He could say, but I don't speak English. But I don't have any money.
But I'm Mexican.
But it's illegal to cross at the border, right? But it's, there's so much that could have held him back. But like 7-Eleven hot dogs are disgusting. I'd rather use my paycheck to buy real food. That would be me. And I probably would have just stayed in San Diego and been okay with being a regular dog trainer, not a dog training to the stars, I would have been like, I'm going to Whole Foods. That's our dog lamb chop right now. Hey, I'm talking about Caesar Milan. You need to be good.
I love Caesar Milan because my first business, I saved up $4,000 to start my first business, only working, I think I was a DJ and I worked as a shampoo person in the suburbs. I had to take the metro all the way out there. And the reason I saved this money is because I had a studio where I shared with 2 other lesbians and we all slept on the floor together. And that's how I saved up money. And I was eating
Top ramen
and frozen burritos, and I saved up $4,000 to start my first business.
Look at that!
It's because it was more important to me than going out to eat at the time.
Yeah.
So then
no, go ahead.
I want to share the next butt story that is one of my favorites.
Okay.
And Oprah's butt story is really, really good, and you can find it anywhere on the internet. The other one that I want to share with you, and I just want to give you a trigger warning before we start it, because there's some sexual abuse and some other stuff that happens in it. And it's Maya Angelou's story. So Maya Angelou was born in Missouri, correct?
I think so, yes.
Somewhere.
Yeah, I think it's Missouri.
Somewhere not so nice. And she...
In 1928.
Yeah, 1928.
So, like, for a black person in Missouri in 1928, probably wasn't the nicest place.
And she had severe sexual trauma when
she was just 7.
She was 7, I think. Yeah, and for 5 years. Okay, and then after her trauma, she wakes up in the hospital from that trauma, and she realizes that the man who inflicted that trauma upon her was kicked to death for what he did, and she thought that her speaking his name is why he lost his life. So for 5 years she did not speak. She did not say a word. She read and she read and she read and she read and she read. She read every single book, every single poem, every single thing that she could get her hands on. And that is where she developed her voice. And that is how she developed her beliefs. And that is where she was formed. And she changed the world. Like, Oprah, who's my other favorite no butt stories, oh, Jesus. She's a freaking master of
Maya
no butt
Angelou
stories.
is like Oprah's hero.
Maya Angelou.
So if Oprah's our hero, then Maya Angelou's like the godfather.
She's like our grandmother of heroes.
So she's somebody that we want to learn more about for sure. But that story we just learned the other night was completely inspiring. And yeah, we wanted to share that with you guys. And I wanted to also share what Mariah just said was that the biggest butt story is not having a vision at all. And so saying, yeah, but I don't have the time, but I don't have the money, but like, if you don't even have something that you want, if you don't know what you want, because you're just living your butt story and that's it, then all you are is a butt story. There is nothing on the other side.
You're a living butt story.
Who wants to be a
living butt story? I mean, like my first shop that I opened, my first profession was being a hairstylist, and I didn't have a vision. I was so freaking lost, and I went to beauty school because it was down the street, and I found a way to make it resonate with my spirit. I found a way to make it be a part of what I cared about. I started cutting lesbians' hair, and I made that my vision. And I knew long term it wouldn't be my thing, but I knew that taking action and getting closer would get me to the real vision.
Hold on a second, kid. How many times did you get kicked out of beauty school?
13.
13 times, you guys. 13
Suspended,
times.
expelled,
He was kicked out of beauty school,
removed, let
and
back in.
a couple years later, he owned the most successful queer hair salon in Chicago.
In America.
All right?
Yeah.
So, what we're saying to you today is, what is your butt story? And what are you so sick of living with that you are going to take a stand for yourself? And from this day forward, you're no longer going to live dictated by your butts, but instead you're going to live dictated by your spirit. You're going to allow what you want in your life, the beauty and the pleasure, the joy that you want to create in your life, to be the most important thing. And the how to get there, there's not going to be any more buts on that.
So you get to say, that butt story may be true, but it's not the whole truth. And I get to create the truth in my life. And the truth is that I'm in control. I'm the creator. I can change this. I can make anything. I can create any destiny I want. I can go all in. I just need to believe in myself. I just need to believe in the universe. I just need to believe that everything will line up. And when you start turning your butt story into faith and you start shifting your electromagnetic signature on the universe, you will attract something different. You will attract opportunities. You will attract people, places, things, money. And I've done it before with nothing. I've done it before sleeping on the floor with a bunch of lesbians, saving money. Like, refuse to let your butt story be the death of you.
Yes, Sasha refuses to worry about money anymore. Woohoo! No more butts, Sasha! You guys just need to believe in you as much as the volcanoes believe in you, all right? And Kit, I think that deserves a mic drop. We don't have a mic, so we're going to do a shampoo drop. Boom. Boom. All right, guys. We love you. Have an awesome day, and we'll see you next week.
No more butts.
Bye.